Jeez. So for anyone wondering what's happening, Adam Audio have just sent me some T8V monitors, which are looking crazy. So yo, it feels like sad times ditching the KRKs. I must have had them for about 10 years and they've done me well. They've definitely served a purpose, but it was time to upgrade. I wanted something loud, something cleaner, and something to help with ear fatigue too. I don't know about you, but because I make music a lot, because I'm mixing a lot, I'm listening to music all the time at loud levels, and my ears definitely get tired. Especially after a couple hours, I start missing things in the mix that I might have heard with fresh ears, and Adam Audio, they're just supposed to be perfect for it. I've actually used them before, although I haven't used them for long periods of time, but the quality of them is just crazy, so I need to shout out Adam Audio for sending me these. Also gas when they arrive, so I'm gonna test them out. This is crazy, the monitor is huge. Look at the size of it compared to my head, and I can't lie, I've got a big head. And yeah, I might have got a bit excited too soon because only one's arrived in the post, so I can't really give them a proper test until the second one arrives. So yeah, in today's video, what I'm thinking about doing is making a drill beat for someone like Tion Wayne. And if you don't know who Tion Wayne is, then I don't really know what to say. He's huge right now. He's the first person to get a #1 single with a drill track. That was with his remix The Body, which was produced by Gotcha, who's a sick producer. But he's got bangers. He makes hit after hit, and a lot of the beats are quite simple. There's not too much going on in the beats, so I'm gonna try and make something similar today. So this might be a test for me today, because usually I like to stack my beats. I like to layer them with different strings and everything. But for this one, I need to keep that end goal in mind of getting an artist on it. But yeah, for this one, I think I want to go from scratch. I feel like you can't really learn a lot if I'm just dragging in a loop and adding drums to it, although there's nothing really wrong with that. But yeah, I kind of want to break down the melody and sound selection, so let's get straight into it. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to start with is a piano. I just want to find some simple chords for this one. And to be honest, listening to his latest tracks like Body and Wow, the chord progression doesn't really change, and both of those keys are in B, so I'll work in B minor for this one. So let's start with some bass notes. Maybe I could just thicken that up a bit. And you know what, I'm going to add halftime to this before I even make the melody. And one common thing that I heard in the beats was a simple pattern like this. But I don't want to straight up copy it. Maybe that. Alright, so just a really simple pattern, but you'll see where it's going to go. Let me try it down an octave and randomize the velocity a bit. And let's process this a little bit. So take out some lows and some highs. Bring up the high mids. I'm going to throw RC20 on this. Yeah, I prefer that. I didn't need those extra notes. And I'm going to add some reverb to it as well. You'll notice I process a lot of my melodies the same way. It's really just EQ, reverb, and something to mess with it, like RC20. Alright, now what I'm going to do is render out that piano melody. So I've got it in wave format, but what I want to do is reverse it. And I'm going to get rid of that reverb tail. If you want to get real close to it, just hold Alt and Shift and then use the mouse wheel, and that'll scroll it back and forth. So around about here. But what I need to do is chop it up. So I'm going to make some chops here and then just rearrange it, because I want the chord progression to be the same as what I had. Well, it's just like one chord basically. Well, not even really chords. I've just doubled up the bass notes, but I basically wanted it the same way around. And I'm hearing some clicks and pops, so I'm going to turn this to generic bleeding. It should help. Actually, you know what? I'm scrapping that, because when I listen to a lot of the beats that he uses, the progression just doesn't even change. Like the bass notes don't change too much. So I want to scrap this end bit and just have it the same all the way through. I know it might sound repetitive, but that's the way he has it. So yeah, I'll keep that same count melody, but it's literally just going to be B all the way through. And now I'm thinking I'm going to layer this with some strings. All right, so I've rendered them out again. And for the strings, all I'm going to have is just the bass notes, just that B doubled up, keeping it real simple. So look, I've just got B there, just them same bass notes. And then to mix it, well, I'm just going to have halftime on and then maybe an EQ and shaperbox too. So with shaperbox, I'm just going to add a bit of a filter. Yeah, I think there. So it sounds like it's going to be basic and repetitive, but that's the beats that he chooses, and that's how you add a lot of tension for these drill beats. So just trust the process. All right, so what I want to add now is a layer of vocals. So for the vocals, I'm going to use this phrase bank and just see if I can find something that fits. I always filter them out too. Add some reverb just to wash them out. And then just a simple sidechain. Yeah, I think that sounds sick now. And that little altar boy, it was just sounding a little bit off in some parts because of the pitch, but I'm going to try and blend it in with pitching it up an octave. All right, like I said, with this beat, I want to keep it real simple. I might add in a different counter melody further down the line, but I want to get some drums in now, just in case I'm thinking about it too much. I'm going to use a counter snare from a new drum kit, which I'm hoping to release by the end of the month. And you know what? I might even include this FLP in the drum kit. I might include two, but yeah, I'll see. If the beat comes out fire, then I'll include it in the kit. So when I was designing these counter snares, this one actually reminded me of the one in Body. It's a bit different. Obviously, this is my own version, but I'm going to add it in. And one thing that I noticed with the counter snare patterns, especially for Body and WoW, is it's real simple. It's basically just the drill pattern like that. Just skip two, and then skip one. But maybe I can add a couple, like maybe something here. I'll include this as a MIDI in the kit as well. Right, the snare that we want to use is, we could use maybe something like that, or this one. And then with the snare pattern, again, real basic, but have a listen to WoW and have a listen to Body. You'll see the snare pattern. It's literally just something like this. I think a lot of the time they miss out the second one. So I think when his producers are making his beats, I think they just have that end goal in mind of letting his vocals be heard. There's just a lot of open space. But for the 808, let's see what we can work. I've done like 30 808s, but I need to get rid of some. I end up designing a lot and then just keeping the good ones. Start off with something like this and then I might change it. Alright, let's maybe make these shorter. I know I wasn't speaking much through the 808, so I just like to concentrate on them. Alright, so this is the first 808 pattern. As always, I tend to switch it up a bit. And I'm thinking about adding a grind bass in this one, but this is a simple pattern I got for now. Slide with semitones just to make it a bit darker. I'm gonna add a grind bass in as well. And I've just brought the tempo up to 142, just a little bit. So I've been working on some mad grind basses for the kit. Just some different like sub-sounding ones. Maybe something like this. Let me just try a couple others. Sounded crazy. And I'm actually turning these into slide notes instead. And I'm going to pan them too. I think I want to start quite close, but then it can gradually get further away. Alright, so when the grab bass comes in, I might change the 808 just a little bit so it matches a bit more. Right now, I think I need to add to the bounce. I need some perks in there. And I'm going to pan these just a little bit just to help with the mix. Turn it on bipolar mode. Can play with the velocity a little bit. And I'm going to add this in just to hit on the downbeat. And I'm going to add this in here just to land on this snare. Maybe on the second one. And this to hit on some of the kicks. And maybe just a few more of these. Right, and I also want to add an open hat. This might be a bit too much for the perks compared to the usual beats, but I wanted to add my own style too. Alright, so before I keep adding to it and getting carried away, I need to remember that the beats are simple. So I'm just going to finish mixing it, I'll arrange it, and then I'll show you the outcome. Alright, so I finished mixing and arranging the beat, and this is a little bit simpler to the usual stuff that I make, but at the same time, I think it's sick. I think Tion Wayne would kill it. I think there's a lot of open space for an artist. So I'm actually going to save this FLP and include it in the kit when I release it at the end of the month, but I'm going to play it and talk you through everything. So in the intro, I've just got the keys and the strings. And throughout the whole track, it doesn't actually change too much. It just keeps that tension.
Cactus.
So straight into the verse. Slightly different 8 ways. So even the 8-way pattern is quite simple. I did this top melody. And a grind bass. And then the only difference for the second verse is I brought the vocals down an octave. And it takes a little bit longer for the drums to kick in. Come in. And then back to the hook. So all the sounds that I've used, they are in the kit, including the transitions and the impact. Like I said, I'll include the FLP in the kit when I release it, hopefully at the end of the month. So I hope you liked the video and I hope you're feeling the beat. I think a few people did actually suggest this video a while back, but I just couldn't find the comments. So much love to everyone who's leaving comments and leaving suggestions. Definitely keep them coming. I'm always liking a challenge. But for now, thanks again for watching and I'll see you next time.